Stupid players or GM stories.
Ha! Our specialty.
Anything from that guy. Low/no effort players, GMs that make stupid choices based on not listening to the GM, not taking notes, or just not wanting to learn how the game works or asks for help. Let loose with your best stories. Be me, forever DM. Running D&D 3.5 on Discord and Tabletop Simulator. Have a group for 4 players. Most are good players. One is okay. When she can be fucked to play attention.
You. Yeah, you do it to me all the time. Like, oh, look, there's James. There's James. There's James.
Last 2 games, she falls asleep mid-session. I don't do that.
You don't fall asleep. You know, you're not bad at it. It's your mate that falls asleep.
Yeah. Can hear her snoring through open mic because she refuses to use push to talk. You.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm just a vulgar, alright?
Groups start making noise and calling her name to wake her up. She wakes up and responds in a huff that she wasn't sleeping. Whole group disagrees. Tries to say they're just picking on her. Following game, 1 week later, mid-dungeon run, we hear snoring. We wake her up, yet again. Same shit, she just bitches at us. Party moves on to the last bit of the dungeon. Party starts fighting the necromancer that was in the dungeon. Starts raising undead to fight the group. When they need her most, the party cleric, you guessed it, we hear snoring from her again. Party is pissed at this point and says they'll complete the fight without her, and she doesn't get a share of the loot. Party focuses the necromancer and brings him down. Party enters the next room, Necro's living area, with a chest in the middle of the room. Rogue goes over and picks a lock, nat 20, and lets out a cheer, which wakes the cleric up. Cleric asks, what's going on? Whole group is pissed, doesn't say anything to her. Fighter says she looks around the treasure chest for obvious traps. Rolls a 12, doesn't see any. As the rogue opens his mouth to say he's going to check, just to be sure, Cleric stomps on him and says she walks over and opens the chest. Treasure chest was actually trapped. Cleric gets hit by a crossbow bolt for 8 health points, knocking her to -2, since she's already had damage on her from the dungeon. Cleric yells that we're all assholes and leaves the call/game. Ends up leaving the Discord without saying a word a few days later. Don't fall asleep during the game, bitch!
Honestly, though, you know, like, you know how it is whenever you're working a busy job. And, like, you know, you're working all hours a day.
Don't play if you don't have the energy to play.
Yeah, if you don't have the energy, be like, no, guys,
like,
honestly,
look, I'll miss this game, I'll come next.
I
whatever.
can't.
Or just don't be in it.
I don't know, I do have sympathy for people, though, that just, like, you know, if you're working a busy week and, you know, you can't help just fall asleep, you know. Now, not that I would do this, I don't have to worry about this type of stuff, but I'm just saying.
You don't have a busy job.
Well, look, okay, I just say.
Dark Heresy. Game was pitched as basically cops in a hive city. 4 out of 5 players made gangsters instead of cops.
Well, you know how this is going to turn out.
Guy who did make a cop made his cop so unpleasant nobody trusted him. Also made him a conspiracy theorist who believes the spaceships aren't real. The Emperor is actually an imposter, and the government is putting chemicals in the food that turn you into a heretic.
Honestly, though, when it comes to Dark Heresy, that sounds believable to me. That isn't conspiracy tier whenever you... Like, it's really not that conspiracy tier.
On the trail of a serial killer, the cop players leads led to a factory. He demanded to be led inside the factory, to which he was told by the guard, only if you disarm first. Cops started screaming at the guard, if you don't let me in, I'll come in with a warrant. Guard said, please do. Cop drives away, fuming. He then turns to one of the ganger players, pulls out his gun, accuses him of being the serial killer, and says he's under arrest. Party eventually manages to convince him to back down. He then demands they accompany him on a stakeout of the factory while refusing to acknowledge what just happened. They go along with it, out of morbid curiosity more than anything else. During the stakeout, they send one of the guys, the guy the cop accused, to get coffee. He comes back with a coffee and jokes, I put some corpse starch in yours, copper. Cop doesn't take the joke, whips out his gun again, and accuses the guy of trying to poison him, and he's under arrest again. Another standoff. The party's had enough and dumps the cop out of the van and drives off. The player was asked to tone his character down significantly so he could actually work with the party. He said he refused to compromise his artistic vision and opted to have the character become an NPC and make a new one instead. New character is also a cop, but he's pathologically nice and trusting beyond all reason. Oh god, so one end to the other.
Yeah.
I know he's doing this because he's salty, but I decided to let it slide because at least this new character can function as part of a group.
I mean, I just don't see how playing an Arbite campaign in Dark Heresy could work whenever most of them are gangers. Mm-hmm. It just does. At least can you make them undercover? Mm-hmm. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, honestly, but why is he not dead automatically for saying that the Emperor is X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
That should be a death sentence.
Death sentence instantly.
Like, you know what 40k is like?
Yeah.
If you say one thing, dead. You want to do this? Dead.
Yeah.
You know, mortality isn't really a thing, you know?
Not quite that guy, but I was dumb as shit once and the rest of my party was even dumber. First session of D&D. Party of 7 players, tasked with clearing out a bandit camp. More fort, palisade and everything. Keep butchering bandits, kill like 20 of them. Then the elite bandit leaders show up. Kill 2 of them, but we're being overwhelmed. Decide to retreat. Walk away. Don't dash or run. I forgot that dashing was a thing. I walk away. One of the bandit leaders has a magical throwing axe with a 60-foot range. I'm exactly 60 feet away. Get hit, go down. Party didn't take the hint of my retreat. Keep fighting. Retreat into a building in the camp and drag my dying body with them. Bandits just light the wooden building on fire. Only 2 PCs managed to escape, mostly through dumb luck.
I mean, it feels like, is that not what the players do? They set shit on fire. It's not often the DM gets to do it. I appreciate it. It's a nice, it's a nice flip on the head, you know?
Right, you slimy gets. As you know, we got all the gobble slaves hard at work keeping the printers tickety-boo. Some of them are even getting a bit sex-deprived and start making naughty models of their own. Ooh. But at the minute, we only paying them in bottles of water. But if you buy models from us, we'll be able to pay them 1 gold piece a week. That's proper good wages for gobbles of cat. But if baked teddy goblins aren't what you want, we got it all. We got dwarves, elves, illifids, demons, kobolds, all that, and even some of them ugly humies. But you can only get it on that www thing, Neckbeardia.co something. I'll get one of the goblins to do it, they're more tech savvy than me. Also, we got more than just models. We got a lot of them subclasses and pre-made adventures too. Proper good that. We play it down Thursday night down the local tavern. We get a pint of grog and we sit down and play it. Big Morgie last week played as that crackhead monk, and he was actually quite good at it, seeing as he's not right in the head ever since the barmaid whacked him for smacking his tits. But, yeah, go over and check it out. That's all me. That's me done. See you back. Bye!
Party arrives in town at 4 a.m. Finds inn. Described inn as being run down and well used. All the patrons are passed out drunk while a 13-year-old boy mans the counter. Party asks how much for a room. Tell them 3 gold piece a night. Party sorcerer gets mad. Starts yelling at the kid. Are you trying to fuck me? I'll fuck you up, little man. Rogue joins in. Yeah, I'll fucking gut you. Sorcerer asks to roll intimidate. Tell him sure. Gets a 24. Kid runs out of the inn crying and screaming for help. Sorcerer and Rogue high five. Guards come rushing in. Declare the Sorcerer and Rogue are under arrest. Players protest. Rogue player attacks the guards with lethal damage. Sorcerer follows. The rest of the party quietly leaves. Criminals are subdued. Finally tally 6 dead guards and 1 frightened child. Get thrown in cell. Break out of cell. Get recaptured because they're retards. Sentenced to death by hanging. Players protest. Party saves the criminals via convoluted plotline I had to come up with. Players salty about almost dying. Fast forward to dungeon. Party keeps seeing this infernal symbol that radiates evil. Druid decides to sketch the symbol. His paper bursts into flames. Rogue decides to drag a body onto the altar and carve the symbol into it via ritual knife. Sorcerer agrees. Rest of the party leaves room. They summon a demon, get their asses kicked by a Tanaruk. What the fuck, DM? This is way too hard for 2 people. Well, maybe you shouldn't carve clearly evil demon symbols into corpses on a fucking altar with a ritual knife. Yeah, like,
honestly,
try and be smart about it.
But, you know, I don't know, sometimes I think stupid players have got charm. You know,
Are you saying that because you're the stupid player?
Look, I think
it's yay! You're the stupid player. Yay!
No, well, yeah, you're correct there. I am the stupid player, but at least I'm having fun, and I think everyone else is too.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. And you know, like, I think that whole kerfuffle with the inn sounds like a great fun, even if it's complete derailment it sounds like fun, you know?
Yeah.
Let's just... Look, what are you here for? You're here to have fun. Let's
Yeah.
have fun.
Being me. Why do you find that so funny? Being me. Running a 5th edition homebrew villain game. Party includes a chaotic evil Forge cleric. New player shows up for his first ever game. His character arrives in the middle of a murder investigation. Forge cleric decides he must be the murderer, so the party beats the newbie's ass, and the cleric starts torturing him. Tortures him to death. Cleric: okay, I'm convinced he's not the guy we're looking for. I use Spare the Dying to bring him back. Then to tell him not to fuck with me. Me: Spare the Dying doesn't do that. Cleric has an edgy meltdown because he thought he could kill PCs and bring them back for free. I ended up retconning the newbie's character back to life, and we moved on. That wasn't even the most retardedly edgy thing to happen in that campaign.
But then why did you...
Well, why did you not? Why did you stop?
Why you not give us the good... Give us the goods. You gotta give us the goods. Although, I hate to admit it, I actually did something like that not that long ago. But it wasn't a PC. It was a guy that... Look, I thought he was undead. He had a magic aura around him. He was overly cheerful. I thought what we did was, he had a suit of armour. We took him out to the
James
woods.
doesn't trust anybody. He's happy with life.
Yeah. Look, sometimes I think Americans are just like one gigantic 1980s aerobic class. Alright? You know exactly
that
what
video.
Yeah. You know, all that dancing and that happy, cheery, get along, you know. I don't know, sometimes that's what I feel like. I cast heat metal on the guy to try and get information out of him, but then I forgot that heat metal can't just turn it on and off without having to waste more spell slots. So, he just kind of sizzled on the floor, and he turned out not to actually be evil.
Crispy bacon.
Like there was method in the madness, guys.
Dark Heresy group blundering around in Admech City trying to get passage off-world. Admech are somewhat annoyed with them, but nothing a few thrones and or some diplomacy won't fix. This guy is playing an Inquisitor. He sent the group to the city in an APC and then decided to come himself via a monorail. To this day, I do not know why he felt he had to schlep on the train. Party are kind of just driving around trying to find anything that looks like a spaceport. Inquisitor pretty soon gets lost, wandering around accosting acolytes. Big central plaza in front of a Titan Legion Manufactorum / Auto Temple. Big wide streets so traffic kind of congregates there naturally. Inquisitor sees Party APC rolling past. Inquisitor standing in front of a heavily guarded temple, literally just finished describing 2 Titans stood outside as a sort of honour guard. Party haven't even been told Inquisitor is there. They think he's still back at base. I fire my plasma pistol into the air to get their attention. Screaming crowd of menials utter chaos. Did I mention both the Inquisitor and the party had radios? Cue Benny Hill chase through the city, eventual theft of a gun cutter, an accidental kidnapping of an Admech novice who had been cleaning out his cargo bay. Fun session, just not at all what I anticipated, and as far as I can tell, there was no reason for any of it. I was not, however, always so blessed. Why do people do that and then not tell us the story?
I feel like, there's so much more that could be brought in from this.
Yes.
I feel like, just give me that, give me that sweet stuff. Give me that sauce. Give me that sweet sauce. Honestly, I feel like the only campaign setting that I can think of that's popular where stupid characters cannot survive, like they just shouldn't exist, is Dark Heresy. Even though everyone knows everything in 40k is kind of stupid, I feel like you're just going to die extremely quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like, the second that gun went off, I feel like the Titan should have just stood on him.
Yes.
And that should have been just the end of
squish.
Squish. There you go. Yeah. I feel like there shouldn't have been any more to it. I feel like there's just too much stuff in 40k that will kill you, and it's just completely over the top. Like it's got that grim dark for a reason.
Yeah.
The idea of a stupid character even managing to last more than half a session just doesn't add up. It's kind of like Call of Cthulhu. You're probably going to die pretty quickly. So, what stupid shit have we been getting up to recently? If we're going to end
Absolutely
it here.
nothing. I'm a mother and I play with my son.
Yeah,
I don't play no games.
You never get time. No games. Never no fun. As I said, I set a guy alive on fire, trying to question him, but I forgot how the spell worked.
You also jumped into an asshole.
Oh yeah, I was playing a druid. I was playing as a snake. Or I Mindred turned into a snake and I went up a dragon.
Slithered up a dragon's asshole.
Like, I got a nat 20 on the roll and everyone knows the rules.
Everyone stood up and clapped and made him go into the asshole.
So I slithered up a dragon's asshole, but I got shot out, so I did it beat the athletics check.
So for like one round, James was essentially a tapeworm.
Yes. What other bad shit have we gotten up to recently? I got killed a good few times recently. I was playing a ranger and I just died. It was the same dragon we crawled into the asshole of. But it was the second. It was the first TPK. What
about
stuff?
you guys? Let us know about your stories.
Any stupid shit that you guys been getting up to.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like as long as you're having fun, it doesn't actually matter. You know, okay, it's stupid ideas, but everyone knows players are fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Like, anyone that says, no, my players are actually highly intelligent, and they always shut the fuck up. Everyone knows players are actually the biggest pack of fucking retards known to mankind. They're just not good. Have you ever given them a puzzle? Watch them struggle with basic children's puzzles.
Yes.
That's all I gotta say. But like, I enjoy it. I like to play memes. I like to play shit posts. I'm not very good at playing serious shit, so that's maybe just for me.
Yeah, but let us know your stories down below, and while you're down there, check out the links to the website, to the models and the subclasses. They really help us out a lot. And hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye!